You know, young rich niggas. You know, so we ain't really never had no old money. We got a whole lot of new money though.
Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Hey! Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot box. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot.
Well, I would say in secondary school, because on the uniform that I mentioned in my blog, I never had the cool clothes back then. And obviously when you're in secondary school, everyone comes in with their fresh ice watch on, they got their Ralph Lauren polo. I didn't have none of that. So I was always like, oh Dad, can you buy me it? He would say no. Now I'm thinking, I wish I could make the cool clothes and have my own brand that everyone wanted to buy. I didn't think of Jehu-Cal back then, but that was the starting process to think, hey, I might actually go into doing my own stuff. It came around about 2012 and I thought, you know what, yeah, I want to go for this clothing line and start a brand. And then end of 2015, I didn't like where I was at in life. I was working in retail, I hated it because I love being outside, not working, just doing pizza all the time. And I thought I want to change what I'm doing, so I changed my whole social media up, everything became more fashion, I focused on fashion, and then that's when Jehu-Cal started in January this year really. That's when I put the money into it and started everything going, yeah.
The Uzi, my niggas are savage, ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds.
This summer, you'll definitely see me in some dirty old school Vans, probably some pink trousers that are rolled up, and a graphic tee, like a band tee or one of my tees maybe. But yeah, that's probably my summer outfit. I love bright coloured trousers. If it's winter, definitely in my Jordan 1s because I love them so much. I have so many jeans, but I only wear black jeans all the time. And then probably some hoodie that I've already designed myself, like this one. I literally wear all the time, get dirty.
All set.
With my friend Zach, because I mean I knew about fashion before, about Supreme and all that when I was like young because of Tyler Creator and all that. But when I was trying to get into it properly, I went to my friend Zach. He put me on. He started showing me other brands except Supreme and Palace and all that. Showed me magazines and stuff. So he was my main initial influence in fashion. And then from there I started finding out and actually looking at people like A$AP Rocky's style. Who else is there? Tiny Temper's a pretty good dresser. But yeah, just from there, like, I started looking into actual fashion properly. People I see in the street every day, like walking from the station now to here, I picked up like 10 outfits that I really liked, and I was like, I'm gonna try and make something like that, or something better than that. People tend to be around me. But yeah.
Case on records, got backers on backers, I'm riding around in a cool.
So it's my actual first name, Jehu-Cal. That's my actual first name. So it's Jehu-Cal, Emmanuel, and Namoki, my name. And even my nickname was Emmanuel. But so in primary school, I was first in London when I was born, and people used to mock that name all the time. And then when I moved to secondary school, people found out about it, was riches and shit. Found out about it, and then they were like, laughing at that name. From there, it kicked off like bullying about like, cause I was mad ugly back then as well. So I'm looking like big lips with the teeth were just going in bare directions. It was horrible. I got mocked for so much, and then yeah, it was like. When I was trying to brainstorm names for my brand and thinking, I actually watched a video, Virgil's video, the creator of Off-White, and he said something about, he said, before you start a brand, what does your brand stand for? You got to think about. And I was like, okay, cool, what does my brand stand for? I was like, why did I make it? I made it because I wanted to have the cool clothes that I couldn't afford back then. So I was like, okay, so what's a name I can actually relate to? I thought, okay, how about I take the name that I used to get bullied for back then, Jehu-Cal, and make that my brand name. And now, I'm not going to say name, but people that used to mock me back then for my name and for how I looked are the ones now asking me for a discount on my clothes.
So you're like,
so I achieved that goal. I turned my L into a W. That's what I did basically.
The hate and the devil keep jumping me. Back rows on me, keep me company.
This year's been good. I started my brand. I've started chasing my dream. Cool. Next year, my aim is to be looking at getting at least 20 to 30 sales a week. Right now, I'm getting regular sales per week, but I'm trying to get to 20 or 30 minimum. I'm trying to sell out clothes within 48 hours and increase my quantity of stock by at least about 40%. That's the aim. My aim as well is to make enough to fly my mum out to Nigeria next summer. Well, I tweeted that this morning. That's what I want to do. That's my aim for that year. After that, my aim is to get my own little store. Next year, I'll be my own little store. Not a permanent one, like a 1 day, 2 day thing. Have it there for a few. I was meant to do it this summer actually, but I knew I wasn't ready for that. It would have flopped. So I said I'm gonna do that next year summer. I'm gonna have my own store. People just come and skate outside. Like it'll be like Supreme pretty much, like just a chilled out vibe. Apart from the long line out the front, that's disgusting. But yeah, that's my aim. Get my own little store done by next summer, and throw parties as well. My whole aim with Jehu-Cal is to make it more than just about clothing. I love to party and shit like that. So I start throwing my own parties in like random venues and shit. And it'll be like not exclusive, but it'll be like we give out the day, the location of the day and shit like that. And make it just really fun. I make it more of a brand that's me basically. Like I make clothes that I like, I throw parties that I like, I throw events that I like. That's what I'm trying to do too. Make a brand version of me, yeah, like basically next year's goal. 3 years time, I'm trying to buy a BMW off of the money I made. Not a crazy one, like I want my main goal is an X6. I fucking love the X6 so much. But I want probably an E30 next summer if I could. That'd be quite nice. I'll probably do my placement year at university, work for a month and quit and take that check and put it into a BMW maybe. But yeah, I'm trying to buy a BMW next summer or summer after that. And I'm trying to see the world more as well. Stop spending money on clothes. I'm trying to travel to Japan, that's it. The 3-year goal is Japan. I'm trying to be in Japan in 3 years time max. So have friends out there as well. I think after I watched the movie Into the Void, I said I need to be in Japan. I just love the whole culture of Japan. Everyone there is like 10 years ahead of us in England as well. Fashion-wise, tech-wise, it's crazy. Like, I want to be in Japan. I feel like that's where I need to be right now. I don't really like doing that much anymore. This is why I'm flying out more often now. I'm hanging with you so much. Yeah.
Cooler. This a roller, not a mule. Hey. Dabbing on them like the usual.
In my Instagram DMs, I get this question about like 10 times a week. I don't mind answering it, but it's like, it's kind of an obvious thing. Like, I never had any advice from anyone on how to do my brand. To be fair, I've been a very independent person as well my whole life, kind of like, I rarely ever look to others for advice. I mean, I do at the start, but once I get a little foot forward, I'm gone, like, that's it. But starting your own brand, okay, why do you want to have your own brand? That's what you got to ask yourself, like, why do you want to do it? For me, it's because, like I said before, and I haven't talked about it before, I want to design my own shit. That's why I started it. Your next step is, what are you going to do with it? Like, are you just going to put out teas and that, and then that's it? Or are you going to go into making hoodies, jeans, everything, and make more stuff out of it? And the main thing, this is like being like out to everyone at the end of me. Don't ask someone who makes their clothes for them. They're never going to tell you. Because I'm not going to tell you. That's my unique point that I have over my competition, that I can legit, like, I can call my manager right now and say, I want this design out next week. It'll be in my post box by next week Wednesday. I really want it like that. But if I gave it away to everybody else, now everyone's gonna be like, I'm kind of like, fuck, I now have no advantage of everybody else. But yeah, most thing is take your time. I started this in January. I put out my first piece in June. In that whole time, there's never been safety that I put out. There were like 10 versions of that, different like positions like that. Like, you just got to take your time with it. Like, sit back and think, why do I want to do this? Okay, cool. I've got my designs, but don't go with your first design. You need to make at least like 2 or 3 more versions of it. Maybe show some close friends, argue it over, see what looks good. And then when you actually have to get your own wave now, like I've got now, I don't show anyone my time before I put it out now. I just put it out. Once it's ready, I'll show my friend, but I don't have to ask him for advice anymore. I do my own thing. So yeah, it's definitely like, take the time to get the right manufacturer as well. For me, I've changed my mind about 3 times now. Because they're good at the start, but then they get a bit lazy. So So you need to get the samples from there. Make sure quality is good. And make sure your first piece you put out is like crazy. Like make sure quality is in there. Like, on my first drop, I put out a really high quality t-shirt. They came in boxes. They came in this nice pink bags. I wrote in every single box that went out. That's what I was known for from the start. Like that's what I got known for. And that's what helped me a lot. Now people always are like, I might put out boxes again soon. But yeah, just make sure everything from the start is really good. That's your first impression. Like people now know if you're buying my clothes, it's high quality. I'm not gonna bump you and give you some little Gildan t-shirt. No, my stuff is great. Everyone knows that. So yeah, your first impression is really important. Take the time to make sure that it's really good. Yeah. Don't try and copy others as well. That's the main thing. I've always had this guy in my head that I wanted to be, that I created myself, which is now what I'm becoming now. So I created Emay in my head. I started making it into a real thing. I grew my hair out. I started dressing like how I dress now, and just being jiggy really. Like that's what I did. And then now doing that allowed me to now make Jehu-Cal's dreams come true. So yeah, like that's basically it. It sounds weird, but yeah, like I'm in two minds. Like Jehu-Cal was like a smart guy. He had all the mathematics, all that mathematics. Wow, that's terrible. His mathematics were sick, all that. Emay was this cool guy. The two minds, the same goal was to get a brand going. It came together in my head, and yeah, basically it. Like, it sounds weird, but that's how I see it. Like I have two minds. Like I have the business mind of Jehu-Cal, and I have Emay, basically the Instagram guy pretty much that you see like outfits and shit, doing all this fun shit. And Jehu-Cal was like the mastermind, like making sure all the actual like details, like the accounts of my brand, all the boring shit basically gets done through Jehu-Cal. And Emay's just there just promoting the brand, like that's how it is. I mean, yeah, it sounds weird, but yeah.
Magic with the brick do voodoo. Magic. Courtside with a bad bitch. Then I send the bitch through Uber. Go. I'm young and rich and plus I'm bullshit.